Yeah, hello fellow humans. Thank you for pressing play, and I promise you're going to get value out of this conversation. Hi Bill.
Hello.
So I just wanted to, how do we start the conversation? Should we start by how we met?
Yeah, and ask maybe about me.
Or introduce yourself to the people, because I know you. He's our captain, but I call you Bill. Some call you Prof. So just a short introduction of you, what you do, what you're about, and please emphasize on the creative part of it.
Creative part.
Yeah.
So I'm Professor William Kosar. I'm a Canadian qualified lawyer. I just celebrated my 40th year at the bar. I've been living in Kenya since 2008, and Mutombo in particular since 2011. I work in international development primarily as a legislative drafter, and I've worked on over 150 laws around the world, including in such places as Afghanistan, Iraq, Rwanda, South Sudan. Yeah, I've been working there since 2008 off and on. I forgot about South Sudan. I wrote over 55 laws in South Sudan. Working most recently in Solomon Islands off and on for the last 2 or 3 years. And now I'm working remotely for the Asian Development Bank in Mongolia, working on their construction. You wanted me to talk about my creativity.
Your creativity, please.
Well, I'm a passionate sailor, and I like to share my experiences by way of what I call micro videos on Instagram and some YouTube. And I also write
articles,
sailing our articles for yachting magazines around the world.
Nice. I will definitely share that with this video. Okay. And you are what is it? Aquarius? An Aquarius. Yeah. So it explains the love of water. And I'm a Cancer, so we are in sync in that aspect. Yeah. So I feel like I've been, particularly this time, I feel like I've been going through healing just based on the fact that I know you and spending time at sea because of you, experiencing Meadow Creek, just based.
I saw you posted that on your Instagram or TikTok or whatever.
I post it everywhere, Facebook. I'm starting to do YouTube shorts.
About your healing. Oh, good, about YouTube shorts.
Yeah.
I'll have to follow you.
Thank you. So there's a thing about content creation. Yeah, like it's a healing kind of activity, and I know you share in that as well.
Yeah, I find solace in it, and I've always been a creative person. All my life I've been a creative person, but that gets put aside, for my professionalism. But I guess I'm being creative in that regard now. I'm being creative again, with my social media and my writing, which to me relaxes me. Even editing short videos, relaxes me.
I share that. I understand that. That's relatable to me. So yeah. Were you done, or am I interrupting you?
No, it's pretty much all I need to say for myself. But I guess leading into our discussion about what is it called?
DOUGH Vouchers.
DOUGH Vouchers.
Yeah.
As I should mention as background that I was a professor of international law and trade.
You've mentioned that before.
And I've written several textbooks on international law and trade. And again, we'll talk about what I see these vouchers as. We've had this discussion some weeks ago, and carry on. We'll get into that. I just wanted to give the background about what I see it like.
All right. So the first time we interacted with. Okay, the first time we had a conversation about community currencies is when I moved to Watamu in 2020 with the project. I was doing a project called Building Economies of Support. And then I don't know where I ran into you, and I told this is what I'm doing, and you were like, oh, come and present this to the Rotary.
Yes,
remember?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was our first interaction when it comes to that concept of community currency. So I don't know how you got it. How was your experience?
I still don't understand it.
You still don't understand
I still don't
it.
understand it. And I like to think I'm a clever man, like I said, you know.
You did tell me that.
I'm a very experienced international lawyer. You know, I write textbooks. I am, I think, highly regarded in the international community. And if I can't understand it, how does, you know,
Mama
Mboga, you know, on Kilifi Island, how is she going to understand it? Maybe because I have too many thoughts in my mind that someone simpler could understand it without the thoughts confusing them.
I'm glad you asked again, because I was like, I want to answer that. So Mama Mboga was my audience before. Yeah, when I was doing building economies of support. That's because I was getting funded, and that meant as a community we would share in these funds. But right now my audience is creatives, individuals who are willing to like accept living life outside the box, you know? Like they are willing to listen to different concepts, different ideas, because I'm finding myself in a space.
So why aren't you doing more to WEPO? I mean, if that's isn't that if that's your audience, your target audience, you should be
doing more to
WEPO.
And this will lead to
rather than selling jewelry at a WEPO.
So you're talking in terms of just have conversations, like
having
invite people.
I think you should be having conversations
with more people
about that. If your target market is the creatives, and WEPO in Watamu seems to be the venue for creatives, or at least that's what Jess is trying to do, in my opinion.
We spoke about that.
It is to create a venue for creatives to get together and talk about things. I mean, you were there this morning. You didn't get a chance to talk to Diana Guzman, who's another one you should be talking to.
But you see this
one on Diana is from Rotary.
Diana?
Yeah, Diana Guzman.
I've seen her texting, but have we met physically? I don't think we've met physically.
She might have been to a meeting or not, but we'll have to make sure she comes to the public dinner next week.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's different talking to a group of people, individuals, as opposed to just one-on-one. Like right now, I'm giving value to DOUGH Vouchers.
A group of individuals or a group of people are going to be polite and smile and.
Exactly.
But that's so wonderful.
Exactly. I want to.
Meanwhile, they don't have a clue. Because no one will admit they're stupid. I'm happy to admit I'm stupid.
So let me go back to my audience. My audience is creatives. You are a creative.
Okay.
And you got that concept. I sat you down and was like, indulge me in a conversation, and then I will appreciate you with some DOUGH vouchers.
Right.
In return, you can get to pay me with these DOUGH vouchers. Like right now, I'm creating value for the DOUGH vouchers based on the value that I am to you. So I finished an administrative task.
Oh yes.
Yes, you owe me some fiat currency.
Are you
national
finished?
currency. I'm not finished yet. Okay. You owe me some fiat currency.
Yes.
So what we're saying is, rather than pay me the whole amount in Kenya shillings, why not pay me 20% in DOUGH vouchers?
I'm happy to do that.
And I find value in that, because I'm like, I want to accept my DOUGH vouchers. I want to ensure that more and more people interact with them. And you are getting your value from the fact that you're saving Kenya shillings.
Exactly.
Right? And because it's me and you, because we already have that foundation, we've built on that trust, I'm hoping we'll get to a point where one day you will now accept them for something that I find value in, and you have it.
So are we looking for value for DOUGH vouchers outside of Kilifi Island, or are we looking at the wider Watamu Kenya community, or what?
Wider.
Okay.
Yeah, wider. Right now there are only 100,000 vouchers. 100,000 watts, 100,000 Kenya shillings. How do I say it? I have 10,000 DOUGH vouchers, and one DOUGH voucher is 100 Kenya shillings. So that means a total of 100,000. Yeah.
Right.
So I get to interact with individuals just like you. Like I've been here for what, 2 weeks, and we just had this conversation.
And I'm thinking out here. I mean, remember Bitcoin used to be limited, and that's what increased the value of Bitcoin because it was limited or not. As an alternative currency. I'm
thinking I get to a point where I now have 1 million as opposed to just 100,000. So you feel like, oh come on, Crow. You feel like the more there is, the less their value will become?
That's, I mean, using the concept supply and demand, I mean, we're getting down into economics here, you know, if you have only 100,000 in circulation, and they, you know, maybe they increase in value.
Ooh,
Like
that makes sense.
Bitcoin. Remember,
Yeah.
Bitcoin was.
Huh, interesting.
So maybe there's an analogy there, except, you know, you're instead of an electronic alternative currency, you're looking at your voucher as an alternative currency.
That's interesting.
So,
That's interesting.
but I don't know anything about these things. So,
This is why I value conversations, because I'm learning. I'm learning from you and from what you know. And I want to add the fact that that is another value that I'm giving to DOUGH Vouchers. Telling you that I value this conversation so much, I am willing to give to you this thing that I find valuable to me.
okay.
Yeah. And then I want to move away from the concept of money and how we are so emotionally attached to it. and give he's distracting you. My son is here. All right, Baba, come to this side. You tell me. Oh, shit.
No reaction.
Yeah.
What?
Even you sit. Let's have a conversation. You don't want to have a conversation with me?
What? I want.
You want? All right. So tell me, what do you think about autumn?
Good,
Autumn is good.
but it seems like getting a bit boring.
It's getting a bit boring. Why is that? Why do you think that is?
Somewhere that has a pool I can swim in every day.
Nice. That sounds like an amazing dream. What else?
And to go somewhere that I wish this is somewhere you can eat anything for free.
You can eat anything for free. Oh, amen to that. But I wish we were somewhere like that also. And then we had like a buffet of assortment of meats.
Like meat, like me
I'm
now.
feeling meat. I don't know, for some reason. I've been feeling meat for a
I
while.
saw Mia.
Mia. Who's Mia?
No, not a name. Money. Mia.
Oh, Mia. Oh, I'll pick a bedroom. Yes, it's not enough.
For meat.
For meat, it is not enough.
How much is meat then?
Meat is like 200 and above. 200 bob. And that's what? A quarter, half a kg.
And how much do you have on your phone?
Nada. Zero. Zilch. Unfortunately.
You sound a bit sad.
No, I don't sound sad. No, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that I don't have anything on my, it's still going strong. I'm embarrassed that I don't have anything in my M-Pesa right now.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious. But you know what I do have? I have, let me check. I have DOUGH Vouchers. Ask me what DOUGH Vouchers are. Myself in a space where I wake up and I'm excited about conversations. I'm excited about connecting with new people, learning, seeing how they behave, learning from them, learning myself from them, you know. And I think we've talked about this before. I told you, you've given me, you've made me more conversant, more open in terms of how I speak and in terms of communication.
This is the professor in me.
Because you yourself. Like I look at you and I'm like, oh my God, I can say that, you know. And then it gives me the confidence to also speak my mind. So I value these conversations so much. I am giving value to DOUGH Vouchers by saying, indulge me in a conversation, and then I will gift you this thing that is of value to me, and I will give it value
But
based
does it have
on.
value beyond anyone else other than you?
Tell me about that. Talk about
I don't know.
that.
This is
I don't
How many
mind.
are in circulation right now?
Right now, I had 3,000.
3,000.
Yeah.
And how many are they in your pocket, or are they in?
They're in other people's
Bogus?
pockets.
Okay.
Yeah, other creatives' pockets.
And how are they using them?
At the moment, I've not given them a chance to redeem them. That's why I feel like the opportunity for you to pay me in those DOUGH vouchers
All right.
is a way for me to open a path
I'm
towards
happy to do it.
advancing the interaction. Okay, that's good. And then there's something else. So apart from the services that I'm offering,
What do they look like?
huh? The DOUGH vouchers.
Are they physical?
Oh, let me show you.
Are they a physical form or are they?
They
like
are not. They're not. I remember Terry actually suggested that I do.
So how is Mama
coins.
Mboga going to deal?
But I'm not looking at Mama Mboga at the moment. I'm looking at creative.
So how are creators? So creators, you'll soon each have a mobile phone.
Exactly.
Okay.
Maybe Mama Mboga is my audience in the future.
Okay. I
But,
thought
yeah.
that was your immediate target was Mama Mboga.
I know. Mama Mboga right now
Do
is
your
looking.
listeners know what a Mama Mboga is?
I don't think so. Mama Mboga. Mama Mboga is a woman who sells vegetables on the streets in a small type of kiosk for very minimal amounts. Like I
And how
think
much would Mama Mboga make a day?
I think 150 maybe in profit.
$150?
No, Kenya shillings.
So 150 Canadian shillings, which is $1.50.
Exactly.
Or less than $1.50.
Exactly. So I definitely cannot go to Mama Mboga right now and tell her, please accept my DOUGH vouchers unless I'm supplying her with kills that she'll then in return sell in cash so that she can boost her financial income.
All right. So how are the creatives going to use this?
So with creatives, I just want to.
And what do you call a creative? What do you consider a creative?
A creative is someone who's willing to accept a different way of thinking.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
because
it
this
doesn't
is
have to be an artist or a writer.
no, this is an
Musician,
alternative
okay.
means of life. So it has to be that person who's willing to be like, okay, I think I can accommodate that kind of thoughts. You know, I feel like I want to exist in a different way, in a different setting, I want to exist differently, is what I'm trying to say.
By the way, I'm not staring at the camera. I'm staring at the popo outside and finding solace and looking at that.
Ooh, should we show them the purple?
If you want.
Yeah. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, I was gonna show you the jewelry. Take a look, I'm coming. And I love your coastal shirt.
Oh.
Please don't stop. I don't even want to. Ow, 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 ow. Look at those poo-poos.
Pew pew.
And it's a beautiful view. There are more coconuts. We have coconuts here. And pigeons and puppies and dogs. This is a healing space. All right, let me take you back to the conversation. And I think we're almost done.
I'm disappointed they still haven't been sold. Beautiful stuff.
They're beautiful, but now we are dealing with the individuals who are not financially, they are limited. Yeah. So that's why I'm looking to interact with more people, and we can bring up. It's commitment pooling. It's what Will Ruddy calls commitment pooling, coming together to bring things that we can share. Like I have this, you have that, you have whatever you have, and then we bring it together and we can share. So these are jewelries from JYA African Designs, and I bought them in cash, and I'm selling them in both cash and DOUGH vouchers.
This is a slinky?
This is a spring.
Do you know what a slinky is?
No. What's a slinky?
I guess you're not my age and weren't born in North America. I mean, every kid had a slinky. I mean, it's a spring, and then it just sort of even get it to walk.
I've seen such a thing, but I didn't know it was called a slinky.
Slinky, yeah. Let's see if we can get this to walk in a book or something. A little.
But I think I've seen such a thing. Like that, and then it goes like that, and then it goes like that.
That's the jingle for it. Google,
You see, we are learning new things. We are learning
Google
new
slinky, and then the jingle for it. You might even find it on YouTube. It's still in my mind, and I had a slinky when I was 5 or 6 years old.
I'm gonna Google slinky later.
All right.
Yeah, and show you what the vouchers look like. So this is my wallet. Everything is online.
Okay.
Yeah, this is my wallet. If I want to send you DOUGH vouchers, you need to create a wallet as well.
I
And you
see.
can easily do it on Sarafu Network.
On what?
This is called Sarafu Network.
What the hell is Sarafa Network?
It's a platform. It's the
Sarafa. What does Sarafa mean?
Sarafu means pesa, money in Swahili.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a platform that you get to create your digital wallet. It uses blockchain technology. So that means every transaction, we get to see every
So have
transaction.
you been talking to Mwema, who's working in blockchain?
You've told me about Memo before, by the way. Yeah. But anyway, this is I'm getting back into this space in Watamu in a different way. Now I have my own DOUGH vouchers, and I want people to interact with them. So it will be easier to engage Mwema by letting him know that he can interact with my own DOUGH vouchers.
Okay.
Yeah. So they are business vouchers at the moment, and I want to make them a community voucher. So the fact that you're willing to accept them as a gift after this conversation, it means you're already within that community. Yeah. So that is what represents us. Let me show you how it looks like in terms of visuals, which I love sharing.
You'll show this on the screen with your audience.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you should do
Another I'll do
a
something
shot online or something.
Yeah. So you see, this is how it looks like. These are the number of people who've accepted the vouchers so far.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Now, did we have the conversation yet about what I see as an analogy to counter trade?
we did have a conversation, but not on camera.
All right,
But you
should
did
be,
say it sounds it's.
Did I send my PowerPoints from the lessons I use?
Did you share with me?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
No.
I don't remember. I found the slides. I thought I sent them to you that I use.
The
in my
content.
learning
Yeah.
materials. Did I send it to you or not?
I think you sent me a story, a PDF.
Yeah, PDF of
Yeah, a PDF of the counter trade story.
Okay.
And it's the same thing.
Oh, that's right.
It's creating value.
We even talk about the characters. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing, creating value out of it. So the only difference is I'm doing it as an individual, I guess,
Right. As opposed to being a nation or
a community. But I am building that community.
Building a community.
Yeah, I'm building a community through that. So yeah, we will need. We can do this. You can create your wallet here on Sarafu Network, or
Right.
do it do the *384# hash if you have a Safaricom line. Sorry, I forgot about these lines. When I you know what? Let me just shut up and let me know.
I think you should also do a demonstration online. On camera.
I'll do that.
About
How to create the wallet.
How to create the wallet. I think you should.
Do you have your phone? Bring your phone. Let's do it. Let me pause it at there. So I wanna take Bill through creating his wallet on his phone, using his phone. So let's just do it. You need to go to your calling and do the star dial. Keypad dial *384 *96#.
*96.
So we're creating your digital wallet.
Turn off flight mode to make this call. Kilifi culture mentioned me, huh?
I love the content collaboration we are on. *384 *96#.
*96#.
And then it's gonna give you a
Caribou Sarafu Network.
You can choose the language that you want.
Even Kamba, huh?
Even Kamba.
What's Mbele?
And Mbele is more forward. You see how many more? Okay, you've chosen one English.
Your account has been created.
That's
You will see
okay.
it when your account is ready. Okay.
All right. So let's give it a minute. And then
Who runs Sarafu Network?
he's Will Radic. He lives in Kilifi.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sarafu by.
Have you gotten a message?
I do. You have.
So you received your message. What does it say?
Using this, you agree to the terms and conditions. grassecon.org.tos. You've registered on Sarafu Network to use. on Safaricom and 48396 hash on other networks. Okay.
So you dial 38496 every time you're using your Safaricom line.
Oh, okay.
And you want to access your Saraf wallet.
All right.
So let's do that.
So what do? I
Go back to the keypad and dial the same code star 384 star 96 hash. Yes, and then now you have to create a 4-digit PIN. Let's give you some privacy. Make sure you remember your PIN.
I'll try.
You can make it something simple so you don't forget.
All right. Enter your 4-number PIN again.
Oh yeah, again, you have to confirm it.
Balance.
Yeah, now you have, those are the options. Let me see. You have send, you have my vouchers, my account. So you can go to my account and change your details.
Profile, change language, check balance, PIN options, my address.